Okay, everybody, daily Chumash. Let's do a little bit because today we have to cut it short. Perek Shishi Yodalid Lo Yisasik Reyacha. Do not move back your friend's border. Ashagav Rishonim, that which the first settlers delineated. Meaning, don't move the bounds, the property line. Trying to cheat and gain line. In your heritable property where you settle. Hashem your God is giving you to settle, take possession of. Yudal, do not move back the border. Sasig is used in the sense of they'll turn their backs away. When he moves the demarcation dividing the land into his neighbor's field in order to expand his own field, yeah. But Loik for Nemer does not say Loik Sigzo. You know you can't steal. There's just one way of stealing. You get the question? Like what's the novelty here? So it's saying in Rashi that meaning you can't steal anything. So moving your friend's property line to make your property bigger is just a detail. Why give it its own commandment? It's telling you that someone who does this particular type of theft, of border theft, violates two negative commandments. I might think this applies also outside the land of Israel. The Torah therefore tells us in your heritable property where you will settle. In the land of Israel, you get two commandments for robbing property line, but in exile, it's only under the header of stealing. That's what it's adding here. That in Israel, we're very exacting of people's property line. Don't try to cheat that. That would be a whole different sin, in addition to stealing. Tesvav, verse 15. A single witness cannot arise in court to testify against a man for any punishment or any sin offering that whoever you're claiming he did. Only with two or three witnesses will the matter be established. You need minimum two witnesses. Rashi, Eidechad, a single witness. Zebanov, one witness is it's establishing a principle. Wherever the Torah uses the term witness, it refers to two witnesses unless the verse specifies one. So now it's telling you in law, aid is a singular. So why is it saying one aid? It's redundant. Aid is single aid. Aidim is plural. So it's telling you a law, the Torah is telling you biblical language. Even though aid means one, literally, it refers to the unit of one group, meaning two. So aid means two witnesses. If it says one, then it takes it out of the meaning of two. For every punisher sin, that his fellow man be punished through his evidence. So whatever the guy's being claimed that he did wrong, you can't punish his body. You can't, penalize him with money. But 1A does work to obligate the defendant in a oath. If someone goes to his friend, you borrowed $100 from me. And he says, I don't owe you anything. And one witness comes and says, yes, I saw him lend him $100. He can't make him pay it. If it was two witnesses, he'd have to pay it, unless he had a receipt. But if one, he can't make him pay it, but he obligates the guy to take an oath, which is a very severe thing. It's a very, awesome, scary thing. And that would make him, hopefully tell the truth if he's lying. By the verbal evidence of two witnesses. And it says by the verbal evidence, by the mouth, not through writing it. You can't send an affidavit in writing to give testimony. Also, there can't be an interpreter between the judges. The judges have to hear it directly from the witnesses. They have to know the language, I guess. Just to second. I'm not going to get that far. I'm just going to finish this idea. Tezayin kiyakum eid chamas be'ishlanis beisara. If false witnesses arise in court against a man, and what about there's a false witness who comes to testify something that's a lie, fictitious against the guy? Rashi, last beisara, to testify something that's made up. The word sarah, unusual word. Rashi says davar sheni, something that's made up. Meaning, what sarah means removed. That these witnesses are removed. It's testimony that is disproved as a total impossibility. Why? Because other witnesses will come to these witnesses and say, how could you say you saw this guy, beat up this guy or steal money on Tuesday, 1:00? You were with us in California Tuesday, 1:00. So it's a testimony that becomes proof, not just that it's contested, it's proved that it's impossible because you witnesses were not there. So that's called Eid Zoimim. So so these two men and the litigants stand before God. Before the priests and the judges that are at that time. Rashi, these two men shall stand. This is talking the witnesses. And thereby teaches us that women cannot be witnesses because as men have to be witnesses. It also tells us that the witness must give their testimony while standing. Got to be two men, and they have to stand while giving the witness, the testimony. And the people that they're quarreling with, meaning the litigants, they stand before God. They should consider themselves as if they're standing before God, as it says, in the midst of judges, God judges. God is there in the courtroom. That are that time. This tells us that you can't say, oh, this is a lower level judge than the past generations. This is a guy, he knows what he's doing. He might not be a genius of Moses, but it says, Yiftach b'derek and Shmuel b'derek. That a later judge, that a later judge is like Shmuel. Okay, perfect. Yiftach in his generation is like Shmuel's generation. You must treat him with respect. Okay. Yiftach was a later judge. He wasn't as great as Shmuel, but they said Yiftach is the judge. You got to go to him. You have to respect him accordingly. Turns out I have more time than I thought, so I will continue on. The judges shall then thoroughly investigate the matter, and if indeed the witnesses are false, they testified falsely against their brother. The judge shall thoroughly investigate. Through the testimony of those who wish to make them scheming witnesses.
Stop recording.
All right, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yudches. V'dosha sheftim heitev. The judges shall then thoroughly investigate the matter. V'hine eid sheker anabachiv. And indeed, if the witnesses are false witnesses and they testify falsely against their brother. So we're talking here where there's a fictitious testimony. And it's proven the judges investigate it. How do they investigate it? Again, just to give you the term, eid zomem means a lying aid. How do you know he's lying though? We trust witnesses because other witnesses come and say these two guys that are witnesses to indict, Ruvain, Robert, they must have been lying because they're in Disneyland with us yesterday when they claimed they saw the crime. That's how they investigate those second set that is claiming that these guys weren't with us, that couldn't have been there to be at the crime, and they investigate it very well. Indeed, the witnesses are false witnesses. I apologize. I do have to go. We'll finish it yourself.